everybody, Ramsden's house. I'm back with take 2 of Friday Night Football. Apologies for that, guys. I went on a live stream and unfortunately YouTube decided to do a Charlie Mulgrew on me. It decided to put me in the shit and give me a technicality failure. So I'm back here again on a Friday night sorting this out for you guys. So I'm not having that. I'm not having you guys go without your Friday Night Football. Back into your comments anyway. We're talking about numerous things to do with Jack Clark, Harrison, Roof getting his contracts, etc, etc, which I'll be getting into. But anyway, yeah, Roof, we're talking about him being on his contract for January, him needing a contract, 100%. He needs that contract. There are Premier League clubs sniffing around Kemal Roof at the minute. Apparently Crystal Palace are looking at him, apparently Burnley are looking at him, which is that they love to do with Leeds United players, don't they, Burnley? But Roof getting that contract is 100% what Leeds need to do. You are bang on about Norwich, Zubi Zaretta. They won't finish above Leeds. The real threat for top spot comes from West Brom, 100%. West Brom are the dangers at the minute, and the reason behind that is because they've got the quality, they've got the firepower, and for me, they're the only team this season who have really caused Leeds problems, and Leeds couldn't really cope with them, no matter what Bielsa did, no matter how he set up, no matter the formation, no matter the strategy, the pace, depth, whatever. Leeds couldn't cope with that side. That's the only side this season I think Leeds have thoroughly deserved to lose to. Barkers, I'm really starting to believe we could actually go up match on together. Me too, mate. Villa, Sheffield United were the two games where I thought Leeds would lose. I thought we could lose heavily to Villa as well, but we've come out of those stronger. I can't remember the last time we beat Sheffield United at their place. Even the era of Neil Warnock at Sheffield United, we could never buy a win down there when we were in the Championship in 2000 and sort of 6-7. They're a real good side, Sheffield United, but now we're 10 points clear of them. You've got the likes of Villa as well, who I thought, the quality and depth they have is just, it's magnificent, and they've got a Premier League squad for me. And you've got to remember as well, Jack Grealish wasn't playing, so this is the sort of squad. They've been in this division now 2 years, and they've got a squad like that. So you're thinking of teams that have already come down as well last season, who've got better parachute payments and more installations of parachute payments coming as well. So this is the quality we Leeds are working in. We are one of the minority teams, plural, who are in this division, who have not been in the Premier League in a ridiculous amount of time. You look at like the Readings, Hulls, they've all been up more recently than Leeds. There's a massive amount of teams who've been in the Premier League more recently than Leeds, and obviously that affects in transfer targets, transfer budgets, wage budgets, structures, facilities. All of these things encompass what money provides, essentially. So Lloyd Gittins, goalie is the weak link, 100%. I think if you're looking at the likes of Westwood and Darlow coming in, I think those two, I've been told as well, I've got a little bit of, if you want to call it gossip for you guys, that apparently Leeds are in talks with Westwood. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. Darlow would be a really good option. Him and Westwood both good with his feet, good with the feet, commanding, very good in their areas, and definitely too that if Leeds got in, they would definitely drastically improve the squad. I've heard some people saying that if Westwood come in, he'd be number 2. Not for me, he'd be number 1, 100%. It's mad, mate, but 21 points out of 21, Andrew O'Connor, 100%, mate. I mean, 21 points out of 21, just fathom that. 7 wins out of 7. If Marcel Bielsa beats Hull, 8 out of 8, that's another record is broken. Another one is broken. And when I say another one, I mean he's already broken the amount of wins Leeds had at the start of the season under Thomas Christiansen. If he does this again, it's another record broken. This guy is consistently breaking records. And also another thing, Leeds are only 9 points off our total for last season, and we're halfway through the season. Just sort of deem that as your structure. Arcade Juice, well done the Leeds. I love the fans. They totally deserve the success. When that third goal went in, it was like an earthquake. Bring that noise to the Premiership. We need Leeds in there. Bournemouth, Burnley, Huddersfield, Fulham, etc. Yawn. That's what we've all been saying, mate. They're all boring. You need one of the dynasties back. Leeds are one of football's founding dynasties. You look at the likes of Forest, Derby, Villa, Leeds, all Wednesday, all still down in that division. For me, Leeds are still the top of that pack. That's probably a little bit of bias, but we are one of the forefathers of football, 100%. We've not been affected by that generation of tourism, money. We are still, we're still vile animals, aren't we? When we go to the games, we're still passionate. As Fergie said, Leeds is one of the worst places to go. So if teams like, in the Premier League have not faced Leeds in years, they come to Ellen Road, they get an atmosphere which they've not had at your Bournemouths, at your Fulhams, etc, etc. So Leeds is the place to be at the minute, and we are wanted back in the Premier League, 100%. Whilst the game was being played, I was working. Cannot believe it finished 3-2. This is Dilip, by the way, a regular listener. The way it did, Just looking forward to watching the highlights later on. Yeah, Dilip, I've watched the highlights 30, 40 times. I think I've watched Villa about 70 or 80 times. Defcon, the players on our bench today, all young, average age less than 20 and all getting first team experiences. No senior players at all, but somehow our team still wins. The guy's a genius. The guy's a genius. You'll get no manager like him. For me, he's the best manager in the country. The best manager in the country. No manager can do what Bielsa's doing at the minute. Fund-wise, injury-wise, squad depth-wise, no one could do what he's doing at the minute. And you will not get that economic division of the top teams economically in that league and the bottom teams in any league in Europe, and the bottom team doing as well as they are doing now against sort of like the big teams as you would in this division with the resources that he's got. He hasn't got many resources, you know, at all. You look at what Pat Bamford's on a week and you know Leeds don't have the economic forces as even a Norwich do. You know, Norwich have just come out of their parachute payments now. People talking about like small Norwich, you know, oh well, it'd be great if Norwich got back up there, but you know, they've still got a lot of money of Norwich. You know, Leeds don't have that, you know. Look at the turnover of players Norwich had in the summer. There's the difference. Great video, thank you, and Happy New Year to you. This is Derek Burgess. We definitely need another keeper. BPF isn't good enough yet. Yeah, completely understand what you're saying there, mate. I completely agree. If Heckingbottom stayed, the results from the last season's matches would not end the way they did at the end. And at the same time, Roof wouldn't be wearing the Leeds top. We have to extend his contract come January. Yeah, 100%. That's number one for me. You get Roof done, then you get your keeper done, then you get a CAM in. I think we need a CAM in. The reason behind that is I think Leeds are lacking a little bit of creativity at the minute. I would look at Jared Bowen, who we're going to be coming up against tomorrow. I just want you lot to watch how he plays tomorrow. He's a really, really good player, and he's a lot similar to Harvey Barnes. But for me, when Barnes was at Barnsley last season, he wasn't able to reap the same sort of assists and goals as Bowen is doing with Hull this season. I think Bowen is a very good player and a good side. I mean, there are lower league Premier League clubs looking at him. I mean, he's not. This isn't someone who Leeds are just going to go in for and get. You know, this is a big money move. But it would be really nice if we got someone like Jared Bowen. But for me, tomorrow, he could be the man to watch. And the reason I mention that is because, you know, Roof, that they're the priorities. Roof, keeper, a CAM. You know, and if we get a CAM like Jared Bowen or someone of that ilk, then what a window that'll be. Harrison wasn't as bad as usual today. Had spells of a good winger. I personally think with more confidence could be a good player. I'd disagree with that, mate, and the reason behind being that is because I think he's had enough chances. He's had 30-minute, 40-minute, 45, 90-minute spells. He's been given his chance by Bielsa. He's not got that. I can't really think of a game where he's shown it, really. Obviously, he got the equaliser against Millwall. Got the played really well against Preston at home in that 3-0 victory. But since then, when Leeds have needed him to step up to the plate, i.e. Villa, for instance, i.e. Blackburn, when we really needed something, he's really not stepped up to the plate. Similarly to Lewis Baker, me and Joe were having a chat off camera, and we think that, you know, they should both be sent back, and that's just my personal view. Klitsch has been below par for far too long. I'd go for a keeper and a winger if possible in the transfer window. I get what you mean, mate, about the whole winger. I do think it has to be sort of like a left winger or a CAM. I think that's definitely got to be where Leeds are looking in for. Dave Roberts, 7 in a row is promotion form. Considering the injuries, Bielsa is a total genius. He's a genius, mate, and there's no point in going on about it because we all know it, don't we? People, like mates, are texting me saying, yeah, but what happens when you get injuries? What happens when you get injuries? What happens when you get injuries? Unbelievable. Yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? Compare BPF's position at the free kick today and the one against West Brom. Exactly the identical mistake. He can make mistakes, but if he doesn't learn from them, it isn't looking good. Yeah, 100%. Dr. Frost, I agree with you there, mate. Sorry, so I'm going to drink a milk. Yeah, 100%. I also think, you know, you look at the Birmingham game where he made 2 howlers there. Blackburn away, Danny Graham, when he nodded it in within his 6-yard box, could Peacock Farrell come and claim for that? The Millwall goal, their first goal, was that savable? I think it could have been. That's just off my head as well. There are numerous mistakes that Bailey Peacock Farrell has made since he's been between the sticks with Leeds. Yes, he saved us. He got us a win against Reading, but, you know, a keeper is expected to make certain saves. I'm not saying he's expected to make that penalty save, but the saves that he hasn't made, he would be expected to save. I think Leeds go on to beat Birmingham, for example, in that game. I don't think Birmingham showed that much with Gary Monk. I think they just defended. They had 2 pot shots, really. A P-roller and then just an ambitious one from outside the area, and they scored both of them. I mean, you know, and then Leeds were knocking on the door the whole game. I mean, we've been beaten 3 times this season. In all of those 3 games, West Brom, for me, he's potentially made 2 mistakes. Blackburn, he's made a mistake. Should have came and collected Danny Graham's, and the Birmingham game. Two goals conceded. I mean, they're the games we've lost. Of course, Leeds, as a collective, we've been very poor in instances in that game. But what I'm saying to you is, I'm not getting on the kids' back. But I think if you bring a Kieran Westwood in or a Carl Darlow, Bailey Peacock-Farrell will be able to learn off them. And the reason being is he's only had 1 loan spell. He's only been out on loan to York. And he had a horrible loan spell at York. I live in York. I've got friends who are big York fans, and they thought he was abysmal at York. And what I'm saying to you there is, guys, if he gets an experienced goalkeeper in, I would personally go for Kieran Westwood, but Carl Darlow I wouldn't have a problem with. Both good with the feet, very experienced goalkeepers, both played at the top level. Well, maybe not Westwood, but he's a top level keeper. I think Bailey would become a better goalkeeper. Of course he would. Every keeper needs that loan spell and people to learn off. He can't be the number 1 at his age. It just doesn't happen, especially for keepers. Keepers mature and get better with age, like a fine wine. Dino Plumley, I swear I had hair and a steady heart rate at the start of this season. What a team in such great spirit. Marcos Villalba, I'm only saying march on together from Argentina. Yeah, we've had one from Bolivia, Argentina and Venezuela. Guys, Bielsa is everywhere. It's absolutely incredible. And thank you for your support out in South America. You guys are phenomenal. And also, I'd like to bring to you a little offer as well. I've just got this phone case, a really wonderful phone case from LUFC Fan Zones, a fantastic website. You can get, stick them in on Google, and the directory will take you straight there. I got a Mark Viduka one, who's my favourite player. It's a lovely, lovely phone case for my iPhone 6. And yeah, go over there, guys, and get yourself a little phone case. It's a brilliant thing, and it's going towards a really good website. But moving on anyway, the Leeds goal is not good enough. Poor second goal. I mean, it's only an own goal. It's only an own goal by our goalie. Honestly, it's a Blackburn assist in stats. Yeah, and I think it's a bit of mumble jumble. That, sorry, mate. Saran Sarasa. Next stop Hull. Final stop EFL. Yes, 100%. Hull as well. I'd like to touch on Hull a little bit. They've got a lot of dangerous players. You look at Kamil Krasicki, Jared Bowen. Jackson Irvine is out, actually, and he's been instrumental for Hull in this good run of form they've had. They're second in the form table, which is it's brilliant for Hull. The turnaround sort of since the Leeds game has been absolutely astronomical for Hull. And they're a good side. Once again, another good side. You cannot take any game in the Championship for granted. It's going to be a really, really tough game tomorrow. So Leeds have got to be prepared. We've got to be prepared for Hull to be sitting back. But, with the likes of Fraser Campbell, Kamil Krasicki going forward, Jared Bowen, these aren't a bad team. Henriksen, they are no mugs. So, this whole 3 or 4-0 thing, I don't think it'll be a case tomorrow. I think it's going to be a really tough, tight game for Leeds tomorrow. And I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-0, but I'd be very, very happy with that. Another game we can grind out. Could it be 8 on the bounce? What an incredible thing that would be. John Barker, I'm in disbelief too. Our fitness levels are second to none. Really good comment, John. The fitness levels for Leeds, for me, have been something that I've never seen before. And that it just shows what a small aspect of football can bridge such incredible results, because that fitness is where Villa couldn't cope with us. When Villa got to that 60th minute, they were thinking, Jesus. You could see it with Hutton, you could see it with Chester, you could see it with their whole backline, El Mohammadi, and Leeds just kept coming and coming and coming. And that is why Alioski at the minute is so astronomical as well. Because on that right hand side, when he's cutting in and his energy levels are ridiculous, he's like a 12-year-old boy. Yes, he might not make the correct decisions all the time, but his energy levels just tire out. They tire out that back line, because that's all he ever does. He just keeps going, and you can see it with Nyambe against Blackburn. He just keeps going and going and going and going, and that's what we need. And that the fitness levels, you saw it with Scum all those years when they had Solskjaer and Nistelrooy and York and Cole up front. They'd always score in those last couple of minutes. It happened all the time. Harry Burns, absolutely gobsmacked. I can't believe it. Haha. I'm sure Jansen was playing up front at one point. I think he's done that the past couple of games, hasn't he? I swear Villa, he was playing up front, but he's just been brilliant this year. Who would your guys' player of the seasons be? Put your comments in the section below. Let me know, and I'll read them out in my next video. Because mine, personally, it was a close call between Phillips and Jansen, but I think Phillips for me. I think he's just completely turned into a different player. What a player as well. He's so good at the minute, Calvin Phillips. 1.9 million views B. Could be worse. We could have Felix Weidfeld. You're not wrong. Gene Wedstone, whoa, crazy team local, tactics, attacks, thanks, loves Bielsa. I think that's another Argentinian viewer. Alfie Bromley, I'm with you all the way over the Bailey Peacock Farrell, mate. For me, he is not a league-winning goalkeeper. It was just embarrassing, to be fair. Positioning was so wrong. Yeah, I mean, God, we don't want to get on this back, do we? He's only a young lad, and I try not to. But, you know, it's a fan channel. You've got to display your views, and he's not good enough at the minute. He's not good enough at the minute, and for me, there's been too many mistakes. But I do think he will be a good goalkeeper in the long run. That is why Leeds have got to invest in an experienced goalkeeper, and Leeds have to do what is right by Bailey Peacock Farrell, which is just taking him out the firing line a little bit, slipping Westwood in, slipping Darlow in, and getting Leeds to that promised land of the Premier League. Because, you know, you look at the past goalkeepers that have been involved. I mean, you look more recently, let's say, you know, you look at Wolves with John Ruddy. That's, you know, John Ruddy, okay, you know, you might think to yourself, ex-England international, okay. I think the biggest mistake Leeds made in the past 15 years was getting rid of Rob Green. I think that is a massive, massive mistake Leeds made. He could still have been with Leeds today, and now he's sitting on the bench for Chelsea. But reverting back to my point, I think you bring in an experienced head, that is what will benefit Bailey Peacock Farrell in the long run. And I think with keepers like, you know, like John Ruddy for Wolves last season, for example, Bettinelli for Fulham, these are keepers who are top level in this division, and you build from the back. And the keeper is, for me, the most important position in a team, because the whole back line have confidence. They need the confidence from the goalkeeper. When the ball goes over the head, they need confidence that the keeper's going to come and collect it. The keeper is a massive, massive facet, and that's why when we've had the comedy era, you know, when you had Weidveld in, but then you go a year early and you look at how solid it was under Rob Green, Bartley, Janssen. I think the key to that team wasn't just the defence; it was Rob Green. He marshalled his defenders. He was experienced. That is what you need in that team, and for me, that's why the number one target has to be Kieran Westwood. What a player, what a goalkeeper. For me, you look at how well he's doing at Wednesday at the minute. He's played 2 games. Wednesday have kept 2 clean sheets, won 2 games. I'm not saying that's all down to him, but he's a commander, he's a leader, he's a captain as well. So if Leeds can get in there and disrupt the apple cart at Wednesday, I've just seen that Forestieri has just been, I don't know if there's been press charges, but he's just been arrested. It's chaos at the minute at Wednesday, managerless. So if Leeds can get in there and just pinch that quality keeper who all Wednesday fans absolutely love, then that'd be fantastic. But the whole game tomorrow, it's going to be tight for me. 1-0 to the Mighty Whites. Leave your comments, guys. Please like it as well. I've done 2 streams before which has gone down because of YouTube technicalities. I don't know why, but liking this video, as I always say every video, means a hell of a lot. The likes from you guys at the minute are absolutely instrumental to how we're doing things, how we think we're doing things right, where we think we're going wrong. Leave it in the comment sections below, guys, and I'll catch you later.